Ahmad, tired from a long day in the city, decided to spend the night at his grandfather's old cottage. The cottage was in the middle of a dark, abandoned forest, and every time Ahmad went there, he felt an eerie sensation. But this time, he chose to spend the night alone. He lit a candle and sat by the fireplace to enjoy the peace of the night. As he listened to the sounds of crickets and the wind rustling through the trees, a faint knock suddenly echoed from outside. He thought it might be an animal approaching the cottage, but the knocking grew closer and louder at the door. Ahmad got a little scared but calmed himself and walked toward the door to see who might be knocking so late. He opened the door, but no one was there. A cold breeze rushed into the cottage, causing the candle to flicker. Ahmad looked around but saw nothing, just the darkness and the shadows of the trees. He thought he must have been imagining things and shut the door, returning to his seat by the fireplace. A few minutes passed, and the knocking returned, this time at the window. Ahmad rushed to the window, but again, no one was there. His heart raced, and fear began to creep over him. As he turned to go back, he suddenly heard heavy footsteps on the wooden floor. But he was alone, or so he thought. Ahmad looked around in terror. No one was visible, but the footsteps were drawing closer. He ran to grab the candle, gripping it tightly in his hand. The sound of heavy breathing came from right behind him. He didn't dare turn around, but finally, trembling, he slowly turned his head. What he saw was not what he expected. A tall man, barely visible, stood in the shadows. His face was obscured by the darkness, but his glowing eyes stared directly at Ahmad. A small, eerie smile appeared on the man's lips as he whispered something under his breath. Ahmad screamed with all his might, "Who are you? What do you want here?" The man remained motionless, staring at Ahmad, and simply said, "I have always been here. You are my guest. And you will not leave." At that moment, the candle went out, and absolute darkness engulfed the entire cottage.